Hi, welcome to Just a Couple of Naturopaths with Andie and myself, Tegan. Today we are going to be talking about 3 contributing factors to inflammation, and you'll definitely want to hang around till the end because we've got a really amazing recipe that we want to share with you, a simple recipe that can just make a massive difference to your inflammation, and yeah, it's really yummy. So hang around to that. But yeah, Andie, would you like to get started with our first contributing factor?
Yeah, I would love to. So hello and welcome. So contributing factor number 1 to inflammation, processed foods. So processed foods are great. They can be really good. They probably shouldn't make up more than about 10% of your overall food intake for the day. They're what we like to call sometimes foods. Sometimes they're really hard to avoid because the first thing you see when you walk into the supermarket is generally processed foods. So usually anything around the perimeter of the supermarket is nice, fresh whole foods, fruit, vegetables, meat, tofu, good quality dairy products. But as soon as you get into those middle aisles, it's just a plethora of ingredients that we don't know are healthy or not, and processed foods contain seed oils, they contain excess salt, they are highly processed, and which can contribute to inflammation in the body.
Yeah, I find you just don't know, like you're looking at the ingredients, and if you can't read what's in them and you don't understand, I should say, what's in them, it's
Yeah.
probably best to
Avoid them. The healthier ingredients can be hard to pronounce, like, quinoa, but don't let that put you off buying quinoa. But
Yeah.
for the most part, yes, that's exactly right. And things like preservatives and different sorts of antioxidants with, varying levels of research around whether they are healthy or not. So that's not to put you off reaching for something processed when you need to or in a social situation. My advice would just be to reduce it. And the way to reduce it, of course, and we're going to get to this, is to add more whole foods to your diet. Just crowd it out.
Definitely. And
Yes.
like you said, there's like a couple of aisles that you want to focus on. First,
Yeah.
all the fruit and veggies, meat, and then more like the last aisle with your frozen stuff as well, because
Yeah.
often less, I mean, there's still definitely processed things in that aisle, but there's less than every other aisle of the supermarket.
Yeah, and we all lack time these days. So, getting a frozen bag of broccoli or frozen veggies, frozen berries, those sorts of things can save you a lot of money and also be really great sources of the things you need. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So then our second one is cortisol and how that can impact inflammation. So it is a trendy topic at the moment, cortisol. If you've been on TikTok a lot, you'll definitely see it being talked about, but also rightly so, because
Yeah.
it can absolutely impact inflammation. And, that cortisol imbalance can be caused by ongoing chronic stress, which is a part of life sometimes.
Yes.
Acute stress, I should say, is a part of life. When it turns to chronic stress, that's when we come up against some issues with cortisol imbalance. You probably, listening to this, you'll probably hear, maybe you found it because we're talking about inflammation, that maybe you have a pain condition or something along those lines, that inflammation is that contributing factor, that when you are stressed, your pain gets worse, that inflammation gets worse. Same goes with lack of sleep is a big factor. And just that low energy and fatigued state can influence inflammation.
Yeah. And cortisol, right, Tegan, is our stress hormone. So it actually increases this increases during a time of stress, and rightly so, because then it triggers glucose to the body, and that glucose is designed to give you enough energy and adrenaline to sort of run away from a big beast in the forest, or which beasts these days are work stress, they're time stress, they're all sorts of stresses that we have. They're not running away from scary animals anymore, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
But our body can't differentiate between the two.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And then our third one, and something Andie you touched on before, was the whole foods and the veggie intake.
Yeah, so lack of veggies and fruit intake. Lack of whole foods in general. So, and that's just, we need to replace a lot of our processed foods with, simple example, instead of reaching for the rice crackers, guilty, reach for the carrot sticks, those kind of things. Cut up some carrot sticks, dip it into some homemade hummus or whatever. So it's a lack of this, and people love to poke holes in the our basic healthy eating guidelines, but for the most part, only about 6% of the population, or it might even be less, is getting the right amount of fruits and veggies. Yeah, so which is, a lot of us have heard about the 5 and 2. That's 5 serves of veggies, 2 serves of fruit. I think 5 serves is, so is it 1 cup?
About a cup, yeah.
That is 1 serve of veggies. And fruit also contains some excellent nutrients. So reaching for that when you can is just your best bet to help reduce inflammation. And with that is the anti-inflammatory aspect, but also antioxidants, which the body just really needs to repair, to manage stress, to be able to sleep, to have clear skin, to age well. What else, Tegan?
I feel like everything, yes, we're talking about inflammation here, but everything, literally, it's, we're talking about eating a rainbow of colors and of fruits and vegetables to essentially get all of the essential nutrients in that we need. Because without that, our body just can't function to its optimal level. So, yeah, which it's going to bring us into our next topic. Unless, Andie, you had anything else to add on to that?
No, don't think so. Just reach for those whole foods as much as you can.
Yeah. So we are now going to give you an awesome recipe that is something super easy, something super simple, and something that we probably have quite a lot and can be quite processed, which is the good old stir fry. So you think about when you're making a stir fry, what are we usually putting in it is probably a packaged processed sauce of some kind.
Yeah. Well, we haven't even done that, but a lot of your sauces, your stir fry sauces, your tomato, barbecue sauce contains a lot of sugar. And look, sugar's not bad per se, but it is best to get sugar from a natural source like fruit, and vegetables to a lesser extent. So yeah, we basically don't want our stir fries and things full of sugar. We want to pump them full of good foods that are anti-inflammatory. So
exactly, yeah. So a few tips that we've got to make your good old stir fry an amazing anti-inflammatory stir fry. And the first one is going to be talking about the sauce and how easy it is to make your own base. So tamari sauce, which is like soy sauce, but a better version of soy sauce, tastes like soy sauce, is delicious. I absolutely love the stuff. Always got bottles and bottles and bottles of it. In some grated ginger, garlic if you like garlic, lime juice. What else could you put in there, Andie? It's probably
you could put in, if you wanted to sweeten it a little bit, you could put in a little bit of maple syrup or honey if you wanted to. That just balances those flavors out nicely.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. You could put in a little bit of chili to taste if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. If you like a little bit of spice to your stir fry,
Yeah.
this really is a great one to add in.
Yes.
And then we're talking about our noodles, or what we're going to have stir fry. So like a whole grain noodle or a soba noodle is a really good. So buckwheat noodle is a great alternative.
Yeah, the buckwheat noodle is also, well, it's probably slightly higher in protein, but the good thing about using whole grain noodles is that they're just going to pack a little bit more fiber into your stir fry, which fiber is essential and it is anti-inflammatory in itself. So if you weren't using noodles, you could just use brown rice if you were using a rice base or quinoa.
Yeah, be a good one.
Yeah, so you can get right to the actual unprocessed or less processed stuff.
And then our protein. So our protein sources, because usually you think of a stir fry, we'd probably go with like beef or chicken. When we're trying to reduce inflammation, it is still fine to have those foods in your diet, but we want to have other foods that are going to be more anti-inflammatory than the chicken and the beef. So things like edamame, amazing protein source, as we know, and we love edamame. It's delicious. And if like tofu is another good one, or like a good source of animal protein.
Yeah. And adding the edamame in, for example, with the animal protein just boosts the overall protein level of your stir fry.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
probably in some way it could save you a bit of money as well, because it just goes a bit further, which we will need that at the moment.
Yes, I think we're all feeling the pinch at the moment.
Yeah.
So then our last part to our stir fry is our veggies and eating a rainbow. So we were talking about some of the veggies that we would put into a stir fry, and picking a veggie of each color of the rainbow, or the most colorful parts of the rainbow, I guess. And
all the different colors indicate slightly different nutrients that are just really good for you and come together really well.
exactly, yeah. So, think about your greens, spinach, broccoli, reds. Well, we've put capsicum, but there's obviously many colors of capsicum. So
yeah, yellow capsicum.
yeah, orange, red, green. Then for your orange, well, things like carrot, maybe sweet potato, if you like, if someone's lying around, you want to throw that into your stir fry. I'm a big pineapple fan, so pineapple always goes into my stir fry, so we get some yellow in there.
Yeah, I might do that next time. But that's a really good idea. I'm sure the kids will love that too.
Yeah, especially just to get that bit more sweetness in there. That's cabbage, purple cabbage into your stir fry, and anything else we can add in?
You could maybe stir in some spinach at the end if you wanted to, and if you've got it spare. Or any of those leafy greens that you've got lying around. Like I know I've got one of those kind of Woolies coleslaw mixes in my fridge at the moment. So you can just put some extra, and that's like a cabbage base, I think. Those sorts of little nutrient boosters. It's just bonus vitamins and minerals. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, beautiful.
And of course, your good fats as well. You could put some sesame seeds in. You could make it a satay style by adding some peanut butter into the sauce, some cashews. Yeah, there's a lot of options there. So just pack your stir fry full of the good.
Humble stir fry. So
quicker than ordering Uber Eats, I promise.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the podcast today. We would love it if you could rate it and give us a follow so we can do more of these. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.